The officers that we have out there are very highly trained and skilled, specific for the operations that they're doing. They're utilizing the most gifted individuals on these operations to go out and to do enforcement, because many times if they're going after murderers.
Well, if it's Sunday, the double speak must continue, and boy, oh boy, does it ever in our featured story today. Kristi Noem ducked and dodged her way through yet another Sunday morning news show, but it's our featured clip with Margaret Brennan on Face the Nation, where she literally brings the receipts to Noem and company on their cosplay hunt for dangerous criminals. And frankly, it's pretty stunning. Welcome to Occupy Democrats, and please hit that subscribe button. Before we get going, if you could use a little comic relief.
We are live over downtown Minneapolis, where, yes, that is a protester in a Viking costume riding what appears to be a porcelain bathtub on skate wheels. 15 ICE agents are on his heels, but look at this. He's pulling away. All units, watch the slush, watch the slush.
Now, in our featured clip today, Kristi Noem faces the nation and gets shut down by her own department's recent report. While it's part of a calculated distraction, no doubt, to divert our attention from the Epstein files, in this case, it comes at the expense of the innocent citizens in Minnesota whose lives are being destroyed as we speak.
We're being attacked by our own people, by our own federal government, by masked men without ID that are taking people away for God knows why. They're not pedophiles, they're not rapists, they're not criminals. They're taking people from schools, they're taking high school kids.
Why is this so hard for you to talk about? Sometimes this is a little tough.
Because I'm an American and I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of what's going on.
So earlier this morning, Kristi Noem brought her best Mar-a-Lago face to CBS's Face the Nation. And honestly, it got ugly. Well, ugly in the sense that we're seeing the doublespeak that Orwell wrote about that's turned now into talking points for the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. But when faced with actual data from her own agency that contradicts her doublespeak, well, stick around. We'll show you what that looks like. As you'll see, Noem has become an absolute expert in defending the indefensible.
Then I just turn around and I see like 15 guys jumping the fence.
Scary moments for Humberto Garcia as he watched at least a dozen men, some in tactical gear, jump the fence of his family's property. Garcia said it happened last Friday and escalated quickly.
And then I was like, get out of my property or give me the search warrant. And they just started attacking me.
Video shows Garcia being thrown to the ground. He says one of them pulled a gun on him, all while his parents and younger sisters were inside their home near South Victoria Road in Stites.
When they saw me, my two sisters came out and they closed the door. And my younger sister was like, why are you doing that to him?
Garcia says the men were in unmarked vehicles, never show a warrant, and refused to answer his questions. He is an American citizen.
Okay, so here are the two clips from our featured story today. Kristi Noem's appearance on Facelift the Nation. First, let's watch her doublespeak concerning the accountability of Jonathan Ross. Yes, Jonathan Ross. Now, that's going to make sense in a second. But really, stick around and wait for the second clip that follows. It is a doozy. Noem is confronted with actual receipts from her own department that shows that she's lying out of both sides of her collagen-enhanced mouth. Now, let's dig into it, why don't we? And don't, by the way, in the meantime, forget about the Epstein files.
And they are in jeopardy. And we have law enforcement officers every day who are getting death threats and getting attacked at their hotels.
Well, can you tell me about his status right now?
Thrown at them and getting.
Well, of course, no one condones violence against anyone. But here, CBS reported that he did have internal bleeding in the torso, but he was released that same day. So is he back at work? Did you give him the required 3 days of suspension?
We followed the exact same protocols that we always have for years as to investigations into these situations. But
3 days of
I'm not going to talk
administrative
about his
leave?
medical records. I know that you know that in itself is his prerogative to discuss his health, but we're hopeful that all of our law enforcement officers know that they can go out and do their job, apply the law equally to everyone, and that they can do so safely, and that the media and people aren't going to attack them for standing up for what's right.
I'm asking you about your policies. I asked you if you had put him on administrative leave. This is in question because the governor of Minnesota said the only person not being investigated for the shooting of Renee Good is the federal agent who shot her. Is he correct that the federal federal agent is not being investigated in any way. Is there any review of protocol here?
We are following the exact same investigative and review process that we always have under ICE and under the Department of Homeland Security and within the administration. The exact same policy that the Biden administration used.
So
his
actions are being
So we haven't
reviewed?
changed any of that. I would not listen to Governor Walz. He has a very bad track record. All this billions of dollars of fraud was stolen from people under his watch. He allowed it to happen, and he also ignored the law and allowed the city of Minneapolis to burn down in 2020. He certainly isn't have good judgment in these types of situations, and I'm not going to be taking any advice from him in how we implement the law and protect people.
Do I understand you saying that the Office of Professional Responsibility is doing its own probe to determine that the ICE agent violated protocol and that he was on 3 days of administrative leave, because that is what is in the handbook?
The protocol and the advice and the guidance within that handbook and within our policies is being followed exactly like it has been for years.
Okay, so there is some review of his actions, is what I understand you saying. Sure, but you just said millions. What's the breakdown of the percentage of those who you have in custody who have actually committed a criminal offense versus just the civil infraction?
Every single individual has committed a crime, but 70% of them have committed or have charges against them on violent crimes and crimes that they are charged with or have been convicted of that have come from other countries that are here illegally, first of all, and then they have committed a criminal act while they've been here or in their home countries as well.
It's not 70%.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is.
70% of everyone
you
you
guys
have
keep
detained
changing your percentage. You pick and choose what numbers you think work, but that is the facts, is that 70% of the people that we have detained have charges against them or have been convicted of charges, and they need to be brought to justice. And we're going to keep doing that no matter how much you guys keep lying and don't tell the public the truth. It absolutely is that these law enforcement officers are out there every day doing the work to protect the American people, and they will keep doing that because they believe in enforcing the law, which is exactly what President Trump has charged them with.
Okay, well, our reporting is that 47%, based on your agency's own numbers, 47% have criminal convictions against them. But let's talk about the other numbers.
You're wrong again. Absolutely. We'll get you the correct numbers so you can use them in the future.
Well, that's from your agency. Let's talk.
Man, oh man, what a pandering shrew. Well, as another cruelly chaotic week begins, we'd like to remind you of the words of John Greenleaf Whittier. Of all sad words of tongue or pen, the saddest are these that might have been.